Okay. Maybe we're gonna try to get you again. Right now, we're gonna get strong. Is that strong arms? Armstrongs? Something like that. See you, God.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Alright, so I still hear.
Wait.
No. I still hear y'all.
I'm really good with faces, so my facial recognition software picks you up, right? Now, you understand that this is a Q and A.
Hold on, let me put my headphones in.
You're asking the questions. And make sure you don't come in a position as if you're trying to teach.
Why not?
Because it's Q&A. It's one. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you two reasons. That was four fingers. I'm gonna give you two reasons. Right? One, you're not in a position to teach me anything. Two, this Q&A was something you chose to bring yourself to, and by bringing yourself to this environment, it means you have to respect the standards of this environment. If I came to your life and it was a Q&A, I would respectfully ask you questions because I'm seeking answers from you. Type shit.
Okay, so you just want to
Yeah, question and answer.
Okay, so y'all still talking about mechanism of you receiving sun rays, or you guys exchanging the sun rays and turning them into brain waves, correct?
Right.
Okay, so do y'all even know the frequency of brain waves or the frequency of the light waves?
You mean this part? Wait, which one you talking about? We talking about the state of consciousness or the state of light on the electromagnetic spectrum as far as radio, microwave, infrared, X-ray, gamma, so on and so forth. You talking about that?
I'm talking about that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. So, what is the frequency at which you absorb? Which frequency do you absorb out of the radio waves, infrared waves, the light waves that you see, or the gamma waves? What frequency do you exactly absorb in your head?
Understand.
Yeah. Only one of y'all. I like that.
You have to understand, we melanated beings. So when you have melanin, you're able to absorb all of the light spectrum. You have to understand all that radio waves, microwaves, gamma rays, you can absorb all of that. You have a melanin, you have the capacity and the ability to absorb all of that. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand the importance of melanin. You have to understand your neuromelanin. You also have to understand that, when you connect to nature as God, as a melanated being, that's the capacity that you have. You can absorb everything, that you are the universe. You know what I'm saying? The darker you are, the more melanin you have, and the better neuromelanin you have, the more capacity and ability you have to harness solar energy, to harness the solar rays, and all the light spectrum, all of it, 100%.
Bro, that's a fact. Hold up.
This man.
Okay, so like your hair, my eyebrows, my mustache, my eyes, my skin, all that, it has melanin, bro. So what melanin is biological living light. This is an actual fact because of the properties of melanin. So, yeah.
Wait, what's melanin? What's melanin?
Melanin is biological living light because of the properties of melanin. So your hair actually has melanin all throughout. That's why it looks black. That's why it's dark pigmentation.
No. Your hair doesn't have melanin.
It absorbs the whole microwave, the visible light spectrum, which is basically the rainbow, gamma rays, all that. You absorb all light spectrums, the whole entire shit. It's not certain frequencies, you know what I'm saying? You can absorb it all. So it's like, yeah.
I think he disconnected.
He might have disconnected.
You still there?
Is something wrong with my connection or their connection?
So yeah, to answer your question, you absorb all the frequencies of light because of your melanin.
Oh damn, my connection messing up. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Alright. So you said your hair has melanin in it?
Yes.
How do you know that, son? How do you know that?
Well, if you basically the melanocytes that okay, your hair, the reason why it looks this way, right? The reason why it's black. If you didn't have any melanin, it would be white. It wouldn't be black. You know what I'm saying? And actually, everything is melanated. Everybody on Earth is melanated, just less melanated than others. Like white people aren't white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
This
That's
is
true.
white. Like, this is black. We're brown. We're just all different shades of brown. Look into melanin. Look into melanocytes.
That
Look
is
into
true.
MSH, the melanocyte stimulating hormone. Look into tyrosine. Study the biology of melanin, and you'll understand what I'm saying as far as like your hair actually contains melanin.
We tell them to study. When you say study, what are you telling me to study?
Why? How do I know this?
Hold on, let me see if I can read it.
Yeah, I already know. That's what I'm asking you.
Wait. So are you legitimately calling in for answers, or are you trying to beat around the bush to see if you can try to tempt us in some form of trickery where we can't answer the question?
I just want to see if you have the true knowledge. Like y'all proclaiming this knowledge that you know. Realistically, I want to know where this knowledge is coming from, because the person that y'all gained this knowledge from, I don't even know where he's gotten that knowledge. Y'all followers of someone that
You want to know about who? Oh, that's a good question. That's the good question. You want to know? You want to know where all knowledge comes from?
Yeah.
Even the libraries, the books, the DVDs, the lectures, the seminars, the da-da-da-da-da. You want to know where all of that comes from? Everything that could possibly be known? You want to know where it comes from?
Yeah.
It comes from DNA.
Okay.
Do you know what you are, right? Do you know the reason why I look like this, and why a Pisces looks like that, and the camel looks like that, and you look like that, and the tree looks like that, and the bird looks like that, and the dog, and the man, and the cat? The reason we look like that, the differences between us, right, is the genetic code, the expression of DNA. The DNA that makes up a tree and a dog is the same DNA that I'm made of. But the only reason that I look like this is because there's a certain sequence of A's, T's, and G's that are active on my DNA strand, which makes me appear to be a human. Just a code. That's it.
That's right.
And guess what? And look, let me say this before we move on. People have the nerve to give credit to a book, yet not acknowledging that information had to exist prior to it being written in book form, my nigga. Why would I ever credit a book and not the DNA of the human that information stemmed from in the first place?
Okay.
So we should not be looking at a book, we should be looking at DNA.
Okay. So how does someone... So the DNA has that information encoded in it, correct?
Yeah. Okay. You said the DNA, simply put, because we like to cheat from simplicity, right? We're taught to be simple. DNA is the mind of God. Everything comes from DNA.
Okay. So the DNA has the information encoded in it. So how do we access that? Because obviously we all have these.
Okay, so accessing this information.
Yeah, make sure you're in there, bro.
Accessing the information. Accessing the. Come on, turn this.
So you wanna? Your question had to be simple.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm talking. So you said how to access the information. How do you access this? You first have to unlock it. Your experiences and everything that you go through, the environment that you're in, everything plays a role in the activation. But it's already set. This is a code. It's something that has to unravel, right? So you are a genetic code. You're a genetic expression. Your astrological program is an expression of your genome. It's an expression of your DNA. And how it played out is the genetic code that you are. So you have to understand it. So it's going to unravel. It's going to unfold. That's just what it is.
Okay. All right. Who's that in the background? Who's that in the background? I want to talk to your chief. Who's that in the background? I want to talk to your chief. I want to talk to the chief himself. Because I know he's hyping y'all up right now. I want to talk to him. Give him the camera. Get him in the camera.
You gotta be. I give you one, right? You can talk to Chief if you say something that transcends what he's already taught us.
Really? You want me to do that? So I could.
There's no point for you to go see the Chief when you ain't even able to stand 10 toes with the disciple. Type shit.
No, I could stand more than 10 toes with you.
Not with no evidence.
More than. Y'all have 50 toes over there. I understand. Y'all got 50 toes.
Not getting the proper amount of sunlight, you can't do.
We in a position.
Before you try to defeat me, you need to be worried about the enemy standing in your face right now, and that's you.
The enemy that's standing on my face is me?
Yes.
What's your enemy? What's your enemy then? What's your enemy? If this is the Q&A, what's your enemy? What's your enemy?
The only enemy is the enemy.
Huh?
I'm only dealing with myself.
The only enemy is the inner me.
You understand
so
that?
you're the only one holding that.
Yeah, you're the only one blocking your growth and standing in your way for divine truth and knowledge of self.
That's it. In any circumstance, regardless if you're talking about on a lower self Babylonian perspective, you trying to get money, or a higher self perspective, you trying to gain spiritual enlightenment, the only thing blocking you is your own inability to see what you need to see in order to move forward. The only thing against me is me, ironically. And until I know that, I'll be trapped in this paradigm of always pointing the finger and blaming this person and blaming this circumstance. We ain't doing that. That's why we, the gods, we take full responsibility and understand that we're in control of our reality. Because our reality is our mind. So who is responsible for my mind?
Okay, right, that's cool. Okay, so you said, I'm going to just have one question. I'm not going to try to keep y'all on for too long.
No, it's good. This is good.
Yeah, I like the way y'all speak, honestly. Y'all very articulate and can make fast points and think on y'all feet, so that's good.
Yeah.
But one thing I have to ask y'all is, so when you die, so y'all really, so what happens when y'all die? Do y'all really know? Do y'all really know?
You want to tell
What?
All right, so you want to know. All right, so
I don't want him to tell me.
okay, well, let me start. I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this quite simple, right? You yourself. I'm gonna keep it simple, okay? Your energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Therefore, you really don't die. You just transform. You just transcend. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the actual process of what happens, it goes like this, right? You basically transition, right? And you go back into darkness. You know when you close your eyes at night and you go into darkness? You know what I'm saying? When you close your eyes and you don't see shit? So that's what happens. You go back into darkness, right? You know how people are like, oh, I seen a light. Oh, the light, whatever. That's basically the moon. The moon is a satellite. It pulls. You know how the moon pulls tides? It pulls you back to the source, which is basically the sun. You are the sun. So basically, you judge yourself. And based upon your own perception of how whatever you're thinking is, like your school of thought, Jesus might pop up. Chief might pop up, you might pop up, Buddha might pop up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But really, in actuality, you judge yourself to see if you can transcend this reality. Now, depending on what you did during this lifetime, right? And this is where we get into reincarnation. Depending on what you did in this lifetime, right? You actually determine if you're able to reincarnate or just transcend. You know what I'm saying? So, say if you did wrong, say if you were an immoral person, you would be like, damn, I did all that wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you would try to, the flame or the sun would be trying to get you back to come back to the source, but you wouldn't allow yourself because you feel bad about all the things that you did. That's why we always say you gotta keep your heart as light as a feather. You want to be able to you want to be able to get off this phone right now and be able to die. You want to be able to transcend at all moments because the frequency that you transcend on, the frequency that you transition on, is the frequency that you project in your next life. So therefore, right, when you go back and you weigh your heart and you judge yourself, that's why people are like, oh, it's judgment day, da-da-da-da. There's truth in some shit they say. They just don't know how it's broken down all the way, right? Basically, that's why people say you go to hell. If you have a bad heart and your shit's heavy, you actually go into a state of mind where it's regret. Hell is a state of mind, just like heaven is a state of mind. That's why I'm heaven on earth and you're hell on earth, because you're on that frequency, and that is nothing more than a vibration, a thought.
Beyond frequency.
Exactly. So, exactly.
Okay.
So then, you project the hell realm of regret, and it's like that's what it talks about in the Bible, like gnashing of teeth. It's because you project it in the mind. It's like you're regretful that you didn't do the right thing. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's broken down. But the point is, you really can't die. Your consciousness can't die at all. It's conscious. You said you want to say
And yeah, also you do this every night you go to sleep. Like every night you take it down, you go into your subconscious. This is your dream realm. This is what is the residual of your frequency, of your thought frequency. So whatever thought frequency you take it down at, you create that residual in your dreams. So if you're having nightmares or if you're having good dreams, this just is nothing more than a reflection of your mental state. You feel what I'm saying? This is the same process Master Price was talking about with you transition in life. You feel what I'm saying? So whatever thought frequency you leave on, you create that residual. You see what I'm saying? So this is why you must live life with purpose and honor. because you want to create that same residual in your next lifetime. You see why? See, your life is sending you messages throughout your whole life. Through your dreams. You have nightmares because you live in a bad life. You see what I'm saying?
So what if I've been having pleasant dreams, but I'm still here in Babylon? Does that make sense? Does that cut into your theory? Because this is a theory that you guys have. Like,
what is pleasant? Exactly. And then when you talk about pleasant, you can also talk about, because your dreams are your subconscious, right? So now when you talk about pleasant, you're actually talking about the subconscious programming that you are under. So you might think that's a pleasant dream. In one sense, it's a pleasant dream because that's what you used to. But in another realm, that's demons. That's demons attacking you. You see what I'm saying? So what's pleasant to you is nothing more than what you've been programmed. So what you're comfortable with. You see what I'm saying?
So that's
why you would say it's pleasant or whatever. That's because that's just all you've been programmed with. It's pleasant. It's pleasant to live unnatural. That's what you're really trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So that's not pleasant when you actually living in objective facts.
What dreams do you have? What dreams do you have? Since I'm judging off the dreams of the subconscious, what dreams do you have? What dreams do you guys have? Because you guys are saying whatever your subconscious is thinking or whatever your subconscious dreams that you have is going to manifest itself in the afterlife. What type of dreams that you guys are having? Because you're the one. Because you.
Sometimes I don't dream. I don't. And when you dream, it's usually a symbol for something that you're not dealing with in this dream, because this is a dream. This is a dream. You have to understand that you're living in a dream right now as we speak. It's your own mind.
I'm living in a dream, or are we all living in a dream?
This is a dream. This is a dream.
You're a reflection of my mind. Literally, you're part of my subconscious.
I'm a part of your subconscious, or you a part of my subconscious? Which one is it? Because
both parallel universes of each other.
Yeah.
Don't move into parallel universes. Yeah.
Because you're talking about existence.
Okay, look at it like this, right? So you think that when you're not observing me, that I'm still carrying on and existing and having a life, but this is not the case.
I like this theory. Go ahead.
It's not. So when I log out of this reality, that's it. Nothing else is happening. Nothing happens until I relight the dream back up through thought.
It's like a video game.
So I'm guessing that I'm pretty good at reading people, but I think that either you or whoever you just put the camera on think that we don't know what we're talking about, and y'all getting some sense of entertainment from what we're saying.
Not I get the entertainment from the theories y'all come up with, because they are like
They're
innovative.
Let's do this, right? Let's do this.
That's the word.
Give me
They're novel.
Give me a point that you feel like is based in something outside of objective thinking. Give me something that you think it's just fairy tale that we're talking about.
So absolutely. I feel like a lot of things that you guys claim to know. Okay.
One
let's just go off
to you that's just like, man, what the? Yeah. Give me one of them. Give it out.
Okay, dang. Keith been saying that. I'm calling. Alright, he been saying a lot, but let's stay on the topic for today. Your man, we said Master Pice to your right. Yeah. He spoke something about a Tesla coil. So I mean, I'm a graduate student in physics. So when you talk about science, or y'all try to say, the 5 sciences has quantum physics in it.
Right.
I really read quantum physics. So y'all make someone like me. That makes someone like me get very irritated and mad, because I'm fine. Don't, let me finish. I already see you about to talk. It's fine when y'all saying things like, the science of grounding, melanin. I'm fine with that. Like, I don't even know what that is really. Like, but I like to hear the theories. But when y'all include something like quantum physics, I know y'all know nothing about quantum physics. So let me finish. And don't try to act like y'all do. I know y'all know nothing about, I know y'all know nothing about quantum physics. Y'all don't know nothing about electromagnetism. Y'all don't know nothing about classical physics. Y'all never read a physics book. Don't put that in the fire sciences. Take that out. Let me talk to Chief and tell him to himself take out quantum physics. Y'all are destroying the name of the scientists, the 17th century, 18th century scientists that what are you looking at? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Don't make that face. You don't even know quantum physics. Y'all don't even know who came up with quantum physics. Y'all don't even know how quantum physics even came up. Y'all don't even know the history of it. So that's why I want to talk to y'all Chief himself, because
does the history take away from the facts?
Yo.
No,
Look
y'all
at
don't.
Let me do something simple.
If y'all don't even know the history, I'm not even finishing my point.
Let's do something
I'm not
simple.
finishing my point.
Let's do something simple, because apparently you're responding like this because we touched home in a field that you consider yourself to be more knowledgeable than us in, right?
I don't consider I consider myself, yes.
Okay, it's fine. So this is what I want you to do, right? I want you to follow me. Simple question.
I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you alone. If you want me to follow you, I'll follow you. I'm not following any of y'all. I'll follow you.
Okay. Who are the original founders, as far as you're concerned, these 17th century people? Are they European or are they melanated? They're European, right? Just follow me for like 2 minutes. It ain't gonna be long. They're European, right?
Sure.
You know they're European. I'll think you know. As far as education is concerned,
Who said I don't think I know? Who said that? I don't think you know?
It don't matter what people say about you. It's all about how you respond.
Go ahead.
As far as education is concerned, we'll just stay with education. What has the European shown to have given melanated people? The truth, or what is specifically designed for them to operate as slaves in the system? The European has shown a history of doing what to melanated people? Uplifting them or oppressing them?
That's a good question.
Exactly. The Europeans don't give a damn what I eat. They gave me meat and hog maws. The European don't give a damn about where I live. They took me to the northern hemisphere. What makes you think the European give a damn about what you know about quantum physics? Oh, the European gonna give me pig feet, hog maws, not let me read, not let me have a piece of his pie. But this nigga about to give me the truth on that quantum physics though. So you gonna trust a 17th century European to teach you quantum physics more than the most honorable prophet Leo of Christ? Who do you think has your best interest in mind?
Okay. Who has my best interests in mind? Scientists that, well, the thing is, I'm a scientist, right? So, scientists, we look at things very objectively. So, when you talk about, you gotta let me finish. Scientists, they don't, the people that you're referring to, the Europeans that enslaved our people, they're not the scientists. The scientists don't really care about the enslavement or all the tragedies and atrocities that happened to our people. They're not the ones that were spearheading those movements. A lot of those movements were spearheaded by
what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying. I told you, man, we base ourselves in simplicity. The European, but you personally was taught by the European. You went through high school, right? And everybody in this room can agree that those 12 years of European education was not for our benefit or enlightenment. it was designed for us to be domesticated, docile, simple slaves in their system. None of that shit meant anything.
Okay, what about after high school?
That when it comes to fields of study as quantum physics, that the European is going to do any different.
But you just mentioned so wait.
No. Hold on.
Your point.
I got a question. Let's go clear that. Listen, hold on. Listen. What is it?
I'm talking, bro. Let him finish.
Listen, hold on.
All right, I'm gonna have to talk to one of y'all. I'm gonna talk to one of y'all. I don't like that doing this ring around the rosy thing. I need one of y'all to speak to and have a discourse. I need one person
Hold on, bro.
to have a discourse.
I have a question. Just one question. What is it? What is it that you do not agree with?
All right.
When we talk about quantum physics, what is it specifically that you do not agree with, that you feel like we don't understand, that you better understand? That's the premise of what it is.
Okay. Do you know what he was talking about to your right?
Oh, sorry, my basketball?
Yes. No.
You talking about basketball?
No, yes. Yeah. Do you know what he was talking about as far as the Tesla coil?
What does that have to do with quantum physics?
Right. First of all,
the fact that you don't know. The fact that you don't know. Are you asking me like it doesn't have anything to do with quantum physics? Not you. I'm talking to Trump. Are you? Not you. I'm talking to the man on your left.
Okay.
Y'all keep doing this ring around the rosy thing. Okay.
No.
You just asked me. Okay. Listen. You just asked me what about quantum physics did I have a problem or issue with?
Right.
I said, do you know what he was talking about as far as the Tesla coil? Then you asked me, what does that have to do with quantum physics? Are you saying?
Tesla coil was in relation to talking about the hair. We were making an example for you to understand how the coil of the hair, like the Tesla project.
I have a question.
Okay. So what is the science? Okay. What is the science behind the Tesla coil?
The science.
Since you just said
It's very simple.
I want to say something. Yeah, I have a question for you. I actually have a couple questions for you. Like, I'm not about to go into details for the Tesla coil.
Listen. If it's physics, I'll be able to answer way more questions than your chief can.
We're talking about quantum.
Yo, hold on. I have simple questions.
Go ahead. Yeah,
you know way more about the Tesla coil than we do, okay, right? So, Pete, right? I have a couple questions. Okay, so with the Tesla coil, is there a copper wire wrapped around a boat?
Wrapped around a boat?
Wrapped around a metal pole.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Is it? I'm asking you a question. Can the Tesla coil be created with copper wire wrapped around a metal pole?
The Tesla coil, the fundamentals.
Is it yes or no?
No. It doesn't need a metal wire in the middle of it. That's not the fundamental of how the Tesla coil works. That's not the fundamental science behind how the Tesla coil works.
It doesn't matter how the fundamental works. What matters is locking your hair up. That's the whole point. We don't care about the fundamentals.
That we're making.
I'm really about to prove you, but I know you don't know what you're talking about. I know you don't know what you're talking
How the
about.
human body works. That's all it is. We're literally taking the example of the Tesla project. We're taking that example. We're utilizing that so you can understand how the body works and how the brain works and how the mind works and how you receive signals from your environment. That's basically what the Tesla project is. The fact that it harnesses energy from the earth and it utilizes that. We do the same thing in a different form. That's all it is, bro. You making it way too complicated. It's not even supposed to be like that. This is the problem with European education. Is the fact that they want to go into semantics and they want to go into the details of things when it's right there in front of your face. You don't even have to go that far. We're literally using that as an example. You want to go into, I already know where you're going. You want to go into semantics of things that actually don't matter. You want to go into the properties and you understand, bro, listen, you are literally an antenna. Your hair is an extension of your nervous system. And then it reaches out and receives signals from the environment. You are literally a walking antenna. That's what we're telling you. You're like a cell phone. And you're receiving signals. The sun is your tower. You need to get closer to the equator. You need to get closer to the sun in order for you to receive information from your environment in order for you to unlock DNA that's latent within your gene code in order for you to express the highest frequency of God that you can emit. That kills all. In this research, this information that the most honorable prophet Eligio devices bring, you won't find this on the internet. You won't find this that the Europeans can only go so far because they are not connected to nature. They don't have your word anointed the ability to understand true divine knowledge itself. So the doctrine and the schooling that you went through, it don't matter. It don't matter. I already know where you're going with this. That's not what we're not trying to bring around the rosy with this. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it very simple.
Okay, so
okay, wait. I got something interesting right here.
Y'all not letting me talk at all. Y'all not letting me rock at all.
That's fine. I'll stay.
Y'all not letting me rock at all, man. That's crazy. Why y'all do that?
This is
not a
problem. This is
like.
problem. Listen,
y'all trying to stuff down my throat. Like I'm trying to have a conversation.
It's a problem with having so much access to a lot of knowledge. People end up soaking information that don't matter. My G. How in the world are you such a phenomenon in quantum physics, but you don't realize you don't belong in the northern hemisphere? How you such a phenom in quantum physics, but you don't realize that you ain't supposed to cut your hair? How you not realize that the United States is a prison and a zoo? You dibbling and dabbing in quantum physics to make yourself feel superior, a false sense of superiority to people that don't really care. If you want to know why? I know niggas. I don't know if you know niggas. I may be using suburbs, but I know niggas. Niggas.
Nah, I know niggas. I know
stuff, man. Niggas need it simple, bro, and that lets me know you don't have a pure heart. You're not a genuine teacher. You a nigga that want to put on a European suit and sit up here and say, "Look at me and my fancy quantum physics degree." Niggas need it simple, bro. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So what are we doing? Do you want to get on this camera for attention so people can be like, "Oh, he's smart"? Or do you really want to teach people so they can walk away and be like, "Yeah, I understand what he was saying"? I guarantee if you talk for 30 minutes about quantum physics, niggas are going to be like, "What?" That's not how you're supposed to leave people feeling. When you talk, this is why the most honorable prophet advice is so effective, because after he finishes talking, you'll be like, "Oh, I get it."
I'm a teacher though. I teach physics.
You're a European Negropean representative. A teacher, when they get done talking, the people they're talking to actually learn something.
You call me a Negropean? Okay.
And yes, you're a Negropean. A Negropean is an African-American melanated woman or man who decides to live in the Babylonian system because their ancestors were not able to participate in a society that is self-destructive.
Okay, so my only question is this then, because we're not gonna get anywhere, and I have a flight to Portugal in a minute, but
you have to throw that in there like a good European would. Why would a melanated person who needs adequate amounts of UVB radiation be flying to Portugal that's outside the tropical cancer?
I'm exploring the world.
Because you're a Negropean.
It's a big world out there.
Because you're a Negropean.
It's a big world out here. I'm not just going to
What is your black ass doing in Portugal?
Yeah,
I'm not even that dark. I don't belong in no Portugal. It's that simple. I know I don't belong in Portugal. You should be actually more ashamed because you need UVB radiation more than I do. Because you have more melanin requires more light. You going to Portugal is actually a dumb move. But you know about quantum physics though.
So which one is it? Which one is it I'm receiving the radio wave, the light waves through my melanin, or am I receiving it through my hair?
Hair has melanin. You won't listen. Everything that has a pigment that is black or brown is given that pigment by a substance called melanin. And because you melanated, you should be knowing this more than you know the white man's quantum physics. Because that white man quantum physics ain't gonna have you doing shit with flying your black ass to Portugal. That's why it's 5 sciences. That's what it's gonna have you doing. It's gonna have you doing genetically modified activity. Yo,
Your issue is this. You lack divine knowledge of self, yet you know the fucking intricacies of the European quantum physics. Like, that shit is crazy.
Where did quantum physics get you? That's my question. Where did it spiritually? Where did it get you?
That's in Portugal. That's what
It don't seem like it got you anywhere.
And the universe get him out of here. And if anybody else talking junk in the comment section, call in, man. Call in. Alright, so he look like one of the trippy red dudes. I ain't gonna judge you from your profile picture all the way, but